I'm close to Vivek's palace. Azura urged me to return to Vivek's palace immediately. I need to see how Vivek's doing while Seren tracks down her brother Shodala. So let's head there. We've had a serious adventure down there, and we interfered with one of the leaders.
Seem nervous today.
Pull yourself together. They're a buoyant armiger for Vivek's sake.
It looks like we can get some fine intel from them. And now we're here. Let's see what he has to say.
As a god weakens, so too does his city suffer. I know my people grow fearful. Even the Archcanon is distressed. But the energy that remains to me holds the moonlit in the sky. At least for now. So what news does my eyes and ears bring to me?
I like his muscle, arm muscle. It's a big arm. We discredited Shodala as Nerevarine, but he escaped with Sunarach.
How this upstart Ashlander learned to attune Sothasil's tool confounds my understanding. And he dares use my power? Still, your help is appreciated. Every strike and parry takes us one step closer to ending this threat and restoring my vitality.
Complete quest.
Due to Lord Vivek's condition, it falls upon us to find a solution.
So let's try and achieve just that.
Lord Vivek must conserve his remaining energy, so we need to solve this problem on our own. It all comes back to Chodala. That damned Ashlander's draining the warrior poet's power. We need to stop him and get that damned staff.
Sunarach makes Shodala invulnerable. How do we circumvent the staff?
How should I know? That's not a skill the tribunal teaches. Return to Barrelzar's tower and get Sothasil's former apprentice to come up with some kind of countermeasure. I'm sure he knows more than he's told you. I do have one concern, though.
Just one concern?
You see right through me, Outlander. I have more worries than a Kwama queen has eggs. I'm talking about Chodala's sister. Seren claims to want to help, to want peace, but I don't trust her. Seek out Barrelzar, but be wary of the Ashlander's sister.
I will return to Barrelzar's tower and see if he knows how we can circumvent Shodala's staff.
We need to stop Chodala, and to do that, we need to find a way to overcome the device he's wielding. Find Barrelzar and make sure that crazy mage provides you with something we can use to save Lord Vivek.
Can we be certain that the staff is required to save Lord Vivek?
Is the bull sure it can bed the Betty? No. But by all accounts, we'll be better off with Sunara in our hands and away from Chodala. That won't be possible, however, as long as the Ashlander remains impervious to every attack.
Why don't you trust Seren?
The female Ashlander? Well, if that wasn't enough of a reason, remember that she's also Chodala's sister. Blood sings to blood, as the warrior poet so elegantly put it.
Why does...
Be wary of that one, Outlander. She'll stab you in the back. Mark my words.
Okay, trust you. Why does Vivek's condition threaten Vardenfell?
Vivek loves this land, and the land loves him in return. He's always had a special bond with Vardenfell. Is it so hard to believe that Red Mountain reflects his suffering? Beyond that, there's also Bardao, the moonlit that floats above us.
Tell me about Bardao.
Lord Vivek's intervention stopped the moonlit from crashing into the city. He holds it above us by strength of will. But as he weakens, so too does the power that keeps the rock afloat. If Vivek's energy wanes further, it would spell disaster.
Goodbye. Archcanon Towers wants me to return to Barrelzar's tower and ask the mage if he knows how we can overcome the power of Shodala's staff. Okay. So let's first of all get down the stairs. Okay, there's one way to go down by jumping, but I'm not sure if that's any faster than just the regular one. And next, let's see, where exactly do I need to go now? Here. Return to Balthazar's Tower. I like the fact that I can just like that move it. And my first objective will be to get back to that shrine there. I probably can just swim through much faster than anything. There's no way for me to dive, and it looks like there's nothing here on the bottom of the sea, I guess. That could, yeah, that's probably sea if we would go here. So certainly that would be considered a sea. Or at least a part of a sea. In any case, that is a dragonfly. Come on, I can take it though. Insect parts. It looks like I just took it like that. Do I have anything to sell? It looks like I do have a little bit of stuff here. Crown, lethal poison. You know what? I will apply it and just use it. Crown, tree restoration potion. Crown, tree restoration potion restores health, magic, and stamina. Okay, so do I have it here? It looks like I do have it. And I just use one, even if I don't need it. In any case, let's see.
What does security mean to you? If it means confidence and certainty in these troubled times, then you've come to the right place. Our vaults provide a level of protection unparalleled in other institutions.
Okay. Let's go to the bank here. And what do I see? I see that there's a bunch of stuff here. And I will keep that stuff there for now. What I do want to kind of put into the bank is money. However, I'm not finding a way to do that. I have quite a bit of cash sacked up. Okay, so deposit currency R. And here I can choose how much I can deposit. What's that anyway? So this is a different kind of currency, I see. And I wonder what does this stand for anyway. So I deposited some of my cash here. 1,500 of these. Out of all of this, I'm going to deposit 800 right now. And we'll keep a moderate 400 with me. Okay, there's something else as well.
Peace of mind.
I want to place that analogy of a body is available for acquisition. You may not deposit that item in your bank. Okay, so this isn't good because I would like to kind of have it there, you know. In any case, that's that. My next objective will be to sell some of the goods. So let's have a check.
Nothing says luxury like dust covering every inch of your store. It's only matched by the sounds of construction day and night. Lovely, isn't it? What can I get you today?
Let's see. The NAR translation. Inferior clip flame of flame. Fury weapon enchantment deals 1662 flame damage, minimum level 5. Okay, so these can be put on weapons. Reduce stamina cost of abilities by 158, deals 1662 shock damage. Okay, that's interesting. And these will, some of these will increase the damage dealt even further. So you know what? I'm going to buy one of these. So Pettiglyph of Frost, Frozen Weapon Enchantment, Fury Weapon Enchantment, Pettiglyph of Flame. So let's get the Frost one. And condition 62%. Look at that. It costs quite a bit. Let's sell as well some stuff. These can be consumed, so I will consume them. There's no point in selling them. Design, dress cup, empty, grief, requires potency, integrate. So I'll see if I can use this. Maybe not. In any case, probably I cannot, and I don't want to right now. More ingredients. Insect parts, iron cuirass. That's a bit better than what I have there. That's as well. Sword can go. Lockpicks, I need them. Apple shield of stamina, maximum stamina enhancement. Mace increases health recovery. I need that. Pettiglyph. That's, oh, look at that, minimum level 5. That's a lot more than I thought. And selling this would be only $3. In any case, let's see. Rawhide, corpse of health. What do I have maximum health? A bit lower than this one. This one is a bit more, so we'll have to play with it. Red meat, sip of health, I need that. That's another glyph. Shoes. These shoes are slightly better, but this may end up being worse for me due to my armor set not giving the bonus. Rawhide boots versus what I have now. Increases inspiration gain from deconstruction of this item by 208% and gain additional refined material upon deconstruction of this item. Not going to care about that. Okay, these ones cannot be sold, and that will be all. Now let's see what I have. Apparel. So this will increase this will as well. Equipment, greaves of the border post will permanently bind into account. Okay. So I won't be able to drop it to anybody. Okay. Look at that. Spell resistance would increase significantly, but the maximum health would fall short slightly, and the physical resistance would fall a little bit. In any case, we could go with that. And all in all, things are not looking bad at all. So I have 3 items of this set, which adds quite a bit of spell resistance. So that's not bad at all. I was lucky. Let's speak. Jewelry crafting station. So that's how people could make money. Skill line gain, alchemy. Select solvent and 2 different regions to craft a potion. Press R to craft or press X to clear your selections. Remember, each regent has 4 traits. You can consume a regent from your inventory to learn its first trait. Match regents with similar traits to create potions. Natural water. Mix a level 3 potion. clear water makes a level 10 potion. And 2 regions. Don't have any formula. Okay. Let's take a look at the jewelry craft thing. The jewelry crafting station. In any case, that didn't give me anything really. And I will sell the remaining stuff I had here. I'm not going to steal because they would spot me. Enchanting table. Add 1 rune of each type. Once all rune slots are filled, press R to craft or press X to clear your selections. Crafting unknown runes allows you to learn their effects. Okay, so that's something that I may be doing, may have to do in the future. In any case, I want to speak with them again.
My store may be the only enchanting thing about this city. And you can tell any of those dark elves in charge I said so.
Okay. So that's the runes right here. And that's only like 1 type. In any case, I have some stuff that I would gladly sell. I haven't checked that one. In any case, this stuff can go. Iron cuirass. So let's take a look at iron cuirass again. And this would give me some serious physical resistance and some serious spell resistance. That's due to the fact that I got, although I thought I got another set piece, but I didn't. In any case, it looks different. Very different. And I will sell.
I came to Vivek City with dreams of an elegant little shop right in the heart of the city. Instead, I'm stuck in the mud with the rest of the squabble. Well, what do you need?
I like that you have a store. I just want to sell some more stuff. That's it. Pavel Ancestral Tomb Rubbing. Done. Let's see this item. It looks like I can destroy it. Or I can just keep it. In any case, let's see if I can use this. So let's see, what can I do? Select the stab, enchant. You do not have any enchantments that can be applied to this. Alright, let's see here. Enchant Trifling Leaf of Health. Okay, that would add me a bit of health. Fine, I like that. That's the maximum health. And unfortunately this would require level 10, I guess, and that's the problem. Besides, what's my level here anyway? Volunteer grade 1. I'm looking for my level, and that's my level. It's level 7. So basically, if it's not green, I suspect it can be used. Pass Fabled Ancestral Tomb Rubbing. A rubbing containing a clue to help locate a lost library. Miscellaneous. Okay. Crown Repair Kit. When used, this repairs kit restores all your damaged equipment to its original condition. Okay, so I just used it, and that would mean everything's just fine. We can get help on some stuff. So over for assistance, please use the options found on the left. If you believe you have found a bug in the game, you can use the submit feedback option to report it. Common questions. Regular maintenance times. Elder Scrolls Online undergoes regular maintenance to provide you with the best service possible. We have scheduled the following window for this purpose, although we may not need to use it every week. Current maintenance period 4 AM Monday 10. Most maintenance periods will last for no more than a few hours. During these times we will deploy patches, several optimizations, database updates, hardware upgrades, and perform other routines that keeps SO running smoothly.
Find goods at fair prices.
EST, Eastern Standard Time, CT, Central European Time. Character stuck. Using Get Me Unstuck will teleport you to the nearest way shrine. You will be charged 53 gold, the normal cost for recalling to the way shrine. So this is what I would need to click. Aha, interesting. Feedback bug. So these are the feedbacks, the categories, and this is what I could potentially write down. And you left the game. Impairs functionality, delays progress, cosmetic, pleasant surprise, game, YouTube channel. And what can we do? Pleasant surprise. Let's go for Alliance 1 PvP. And it looks like there's a subcategory. Keeps in siege, PvP combat, other. And now we are submitting ticket to the customer support. Thank you for your feedback. You should not expect a response to this feedback unless we have questions for you. If you require a response, please use the Ask for Help option now. Your reference number for this contact is as follows. Okay, that's an interesting one. And this is where I'm going to end now. Let's keep moving on to the Bay Shrine. And we'll see what we can get after that. Look at that, that's one of the players, I guess. We can interact, add as a friend, invite a group, send whisper, report. Go, girl. You know, I'm chanting. Get naked. You know, she's entertaining us. And that's that. It's time to move forward now. If she doesn't want to get anymore strippy, it's not interesting for us. And now I could move. I wonder if I would kill her. Oh wow, you will now be killed and sought by the law. Alright. Recipe, steamed radishes, increases max stamina by 1247. That's not bad, so let's learn it. Okay, I did learn this. Fever answers the Tom, running, rubbing, and gun experience scroll. Let's get that. And at the same time, me and my buddy here, we are going to start attacking them beasts here. And that's it. Storm calling increased. I'm heading on to Barrelzar's Tower, where we're going to speak with the guy and see what we can get out of him. also attacking it with this ability, the staff ability, but it doesn't work well. Also, it looks like I can recall my wounded helper. Just like that. If you haven't noticed, I've lost my mini radar here for some reason. Completed. Return to Barrelzar's Tower. It looks like we're going in now. Many of these remote posts have been occupied by pirates. And through this little chimney, we are moving in.
Is someone up there? I could use some help down here.
Alright. On extending existence. By Balthazar, Mage of the Seventh Order and Artificer Extraordinary. I'm sure we read this already. Let's go in. So, he needs my help. Let's find out what exactly he's talking about. He has a natural aversion to Daedra. Look at that. That's a serious furnace here, isn't it? And those beasts, the Daedra, are here. How interesting. Let's just blast them to pieces then. That's it. There's more of them here. That's hunger. That's a nice name for such a beast. And slowly but surely I'll be hitting it with my abilities for as long as I have that companion of mine that can successfully soak up most of the damage. It's gonna be just fine. Alright, let's just keep killing him non-stop, and sooner or later he will fall. Without a doubt. Done. One more kill, one more shot. Boom! Completed. Light armor increased to 8. Let's take a look at bookshelf. Care of Kwama by Sarantilla. While the insectoid creatures known as Kwama originated in Morrowind, do not be surprised to find them elsewhere in Tamriel. The creatures have been transported intentionally or otherwise to many different parts of the world. The barbarous Dunmer, for example, keep the creatures in egg mines because they find them delicacy. Good eating, as one toothless old sot told me. I cannot imagine what passes for good food amongst the Dark Elves, that they would eat insect eggs. But the Dunmer may be on to something in their own backward way. Kwama are indeed excellent miners. They prefer to live underground, creating elaborate tunnel systems as they build their warrens. The creatures consume organic material from the earth and appear to actually excrete minerals that they cannot digest, such as gemstones, gold and iron. As an experiment, the Aldemari Dominion is transporting Kwama eggs to various outer territories. There, small Kwama mines can be established. The Kwama can dig to their heart's content, and if they have hearts, and our Kwama keepers can pull the minerals from the refuse, much more efficient than using Argonian captives. The bugs at least feed themselves. There are several different Kwama types within species, and each must be dealt with in a different way. Kwama scribs are the Kwama young and are easily managed. They are voracious but strongly influenced by food. Scribs hatch from long eggs and grow from the size of a large man's foot to the length of a large dog. The scrib may evolve into one of the other types, or it may die. Kwama foragers explore the outer bound areas and are known to search the surface of the world for new territory. Kwama keepers have learned to steer foragers towards potential mine sites and away from Dominion settlements, for Kwama undermining can cause sinkholes. It is important for Kwama keeper to know when a forager can be managed, as the forager must be dispatched before it can return to the mines. Workers are the most useful of the Kwama and will tirelessly dig away, expanding their warrens and searching for food. It is possible for Kwama keeper to use a goad to push workers toward or away from specific sites, but risky. Workers will fight back, and an uprising in a Kwama mine is a violent and dangerous event. A few scribs grow up to become warriors, while some uneducated souls think that killing the warriors keeps the rest in line. This expert disagrees. Killing the warriors causes more scribs to evolve into the mine's protectors, and soon you have nothing but the violent creatures to deal with. What's more, the warriors can command lesser Kwama, which means an uprising is almost certain. If a warrior must be killed, do it quickly and away from the rest of the nest. Finally, the Kwama Queen. She is a huge bloated creature, nearly immobile and very rare. Not all hives have queens, many are just offshoots of greater hives. But all eggs are born of Kwama Queen. If one encounters a queen, move away quickly. They are not pleasant creatures and cannot be influenced. Every Kwama in a hive will throw itself at a perceived invader to protect the majestic corpulence of the queen. Very interesting story indeed. The Truth in Sequence Volume 2. Taken from the sermons of Deldry's Morvain IV, Thor belonged to the mainspring Everwound. There's a fight raging, so I will move into the fight, helping this guy to fight them. We can gain some stuff. And this beast right here, oh wow, it's definitely very tough. Let's together beat him, and as you can see, it's much easier to do. Boom! Done. The Truth in Sequence Volume 2. By the word, I wind the gears. The will of Sothasil is the Hrononymic will, the nameless will for what is name. The divine metronome tells us that name is the wedge that frees gear from pinion, the residue of Lorkhan's great lie that loosens the wheel chain and corrodes the frame. The et ada gears named each in their way. Our lessers see this as a kindness, but the mainspring Everwound calls it a curse, rooted in selfish pride. To name is to cleave one from another. It is the death of Anuic convergence, and the Nirn ensuing the misassembled dragon that breathes dry falsehood and whose name is multitude. There is only one name that is not name, Seth, the convergent clockwork god whose will pumps like a piston into both then and after. Sothasil, father of mystery, whose heart drives the wheels eternal and whose blood oils the all-axle. See the divine engine, whose mind merges day and be and births the Nirn ensuing. Lesser wills are wisps of smoke, born and lost in a sea of endless sky, lost children whose freedom is death. For what is freedom, child of the tribunal, the counter-level to slavery? No. Have you not heard the words in sequence? The holonymic will is pendulum, that swings only once. It cannot do otherwise. To swing twice would break one intention from another to prove the blasphemy of two. As padame is illusion, so too is the named will. For what is choice if not chaos? What is free will if not the lack of order, vulgar and triumphant? The true wheels spin clockwise, ever clockwise. In the unity of Nern ensuing, each belongs to all and all belong to none, save time real final. Anuvanasi, so lay down your cheap burdens, child. Shall I do thus? Such choice is delusion. Give yourself to the pursuit of unity, for in the end you cannot do otherwise. By the word I wind the gears. The Truth in Sequence, Volume 5, taken from the sermons of Delgi's Morvain, 4th Tourbillon to the mainspring Everwound. By the word I wind the gears. Speak not of dwarfs, child of the tribunal, the simple clockworks of the Dwemer before the sublime machinery of Sotasil. Let Dumac's lament be a silent one, let his hissing toms stay buried, let his automata rust and crumble, for his was the greatest failure driven by Lorkhan's great lie and churlish pride. His is a tale of woe and terror, and those that pursue his ugly mads shall pay a great price in blood. But was Dumac not a creator, you ask? Were the brass child's hands not covered in oil? Did he not speak the words of making, and set wheel to Axley? Hear the words in sequence, followers of Seth. Intention dictates the worth of a machine. Where the mainspring Everwound seeks the convergence of the Nern ensuing, the ghosts of the Dwemer cry out. Multitudes, multitudes, mere and machine parted, wisdom and ambition parted, made and unmade parted, and from those sunderings 1,000 skittering machines are made, left to wander forgotten halls, aimless and profligate. One may twist a knob left in preparation for another to twist the same knob right. One may loosen a pipe so that another may tighten it. They exist only to maintain the brass children's folly, and so they are redundant and profane in the eye of Sotasil. But most profane is this walking horror that bears the name Enemy. The brass tower of vanity, the mindless guardian of the Nirnprior, an antipodal god thing that reigns on the darkest pole of the sacred Nirn sphere. All of the threats of the Tamriel final, NM is the greatest. Anuvanasi, the Deirdre can be banished in thought, but NM must be sundered on Nirn. It is the wielded knot at the center of Anu that must be united. The god puzzle, the mainspring Everwound remains silent on this point, and where there is silence there is a great wisdom. By the word I wind the gears. I'll have to help her defeat the beast. Let's hit it. Boom! Done. Together we did it. The Lure of the Comana Tongue by Warrer Vendu, one time Comana Tongue. You probably heard of the Comana Tongue. It's the name whispered in dark alleys as blood pools on the cobblestones, the signature on the ransom note left on a neighbor's bed. A shadow, a curse, a ball upon the arse of our society. And though I'm not proud to admit it, it's a part of my past. Now I'm not writing this for those of you already on the right side of the law. I'm writing this for the ones who have already ventured off the moral path, those that walk the thin line between wrong and right, the ones with empty bellies and emptier coffers who might see the Comana Tongue as viable option. To you I say, keep reading. Sure, the Comana Tongue has stability, a steady stream of income, is a hard thing to turn down, and they have got structure to boot. They will lure you in with the possibility of glory, of command, of rising through the ranks. And sure, what they do is far from legal, but if you're already leaning in that direction, wouldn't you rather be in good company? It didn't take much sweet talking before I signed right up, and at first life was good, extorting the rich flatheads who had lorded above me all my life. My pleasure. A few robberies, a few break-ins, and nothing I wasn't used to, and sure, we talked big about driving away the Outlanders, of taking Vardenfell back for the Dark Elves, but I will be honest, nothing made me question what I was doing. Nothing, that is, until some Argonian seamstress got a little uppity. Oh, it was the talk of the town. Some scaled Anvach had the goal to start up her own shop and be successful with it to boot. She was taking away good business from Dark Elves, that's what she was doing, taking away gold from our mothers and sisters. So we did what the command tongue does best, we made her pay. The kidnapping was easy, yeah, her shop was doing well, but she was still an Argonian. I don't think we saw a single guard as we slipped into her house. Not in that part of town. We tied her up and gagged her before she had a chance to cry for help, laughing like it was some big joke. Young hotheads who had too much to drink. I thought we were just going to scare her, set her straight, make her realize that she couldn't think herself better. I started to sober up when the beatings began. First slap to her face, but that quickly turned to punches and kicks. They joked about how she could take it, how Argonian's skin was so thick no one would even see the bruises. I can still hear her muffled cries along with her laughter. I just watched as the beatings became more intense, as blood started dribbling from her gagged mouth. I wasn't a stranger to violence, or truly opposed to it given my line of work, but there was something about tying up this old Argonian and beating her, bloody kicking her as she fell to the floor. My throat grew tight as I watched, motionless. No one seemed to notice my lack of enthusiasm, so enraptured in the righteous justice they gladly doled out. Someone pulled out a dagger and made the casual remark, "You know, it's pretty hard to sew without fingers." Suddenly I was wide awake. I wish I could tell you that I stopped them, said something clever, did something brave, but the truth is I walked out. I left that room, that town, that life, not with my head held high, but broken, defeated, thinking of that poor Argonian's eyes filled with terror, so different from my own, yet so alike. I don't know if they went through with it, if there's a fingerless beggar somewhere who sees my face in her nightmares. I don't think I'll ever try to find out. So next time you think of the command tongue, of the glamour and the gold, you think of how easy it is for your crooked morals to slip away entirely, how big talk and some drink can lead you down a darker path than you ever realized you were capable of, how easy it is to say nothing and how much easier to just join along. That's it. Now we're going to help fight another one of these guys here, and let's fight. So I needed to hold left and mouse right buttons, and it looks like this melee character is not doing that much damage as I thought. Done. And I can move into Balthazar's inner sanctum. And it looks like he is fixing something here. Let's see what else can be found here. I'm going to pick up everything that there's here. And I'm obviously going to just simply sell it a bit later. Especially food and such is important. He's eating a steak. Some vegetables, that's not bad. And some bread. Food is important because food adds bonuses. So that's good. Alright, so now let's find out what he has to say.
So hard to concentrate and maintain schedules when interruptions constantly occur. Don't they know the great gear never pauses in its rotations? So that was you up there. I appreciate the assistance. Daedric entities can be very unpredictable.
Why were Daedra attacking you, Balthazar?
Logic has very little place in the behavior of Daedra, my hopeful associate. Studying the fabric of reality does tend to attract unwanted attention. But these creatures appeared just before you entered my tower. I wonder, why have you returned?
I located Sotasil's tool, but it's been altered to seal Lord Vivek's divine energy.
Ah, a modification of my master's old experiments, turning a simple tool into a dangerous weapon. Ingenious! Evil, yes, but also quite brilliant. A tonal inverter should counter it. Uses sound waves to temporarily disrupt the flow of energy.
Do you have a tonal inventor I can use?
No, of course not. I just invented it. I need proper components to build such a device. My hirelings scour the land for materials all the time. Here's a list. Head out the back door and ask them to direct you to these common dwarven components.
Where can I find these hirelings of yours?
Hirelings? Yes, they worked for me, before they quit, ungrateful netches. Still, I paid them well before the pistons slipped their alignments. They should know where to find the components. Last I heard, Snorfen and the others were in Molag Mar.
Do you think the Daedra will return to trouble you?
The situation is wound dangerously tight, but I believe the gears revolve around you. Once you leave, I should be perfectly safe. Or at least as safe as I ever am in the midst of all these experiments. You, however, stay vigilant, my friend.
I don't trust this guy. I think he's having something to do with Daedra. It's not my presence here. Can you tell me more about these components you need me to find?
Hirelings? Yes, they worked for me, before they quit, ungrateful netches. Still, I paid them well before the situation is wound dangerously tight. But I believe the gears revolve around you. I could, but I won't pour 5-year-old Flynn into a cracked decanter. No offense. Suffice it to say, they're fairly common as far as Dwemer components go. Use the list and talk to my former hirelings. I'll build the device the moment you return.
Okay, goodbye. Now I can check his wardrobes and see what else is here. The Truth in Sequence, Volume 3. Taken from the sermons of Delgi's Morvain, 4th Tourbillon, to the mainspring Everwound, by the word Ivan the Gears. The third truth of the mainspring Everwound is the truth of Daedra. In the days before the first ignition, the Shimmer people bent their knees to the false princes, the web spinner, the prince of plots, and the queen of dawn and dusk. I do not use their names, as name cleaves one from another. You know them well, child of the tribunal, for every time you bear false witness or make foolish boasts, you do so in their name. Their words corrode and weaken the heart, their threats loosen the fasteners and break the seals. They are the anti-gears that turn counter to the nameless will, servants of the Padamake untruth, whose nature is void of the Daedra. Only the great prince of the order knew his nature, and he went mad in the knowing. The Daedra fear wisdom and order, you see, and thus do they fear the clockwork god above all others. Where others see dark crowns numbered 10 and 6, Sotasil sees shadows and nothing more. For the Daedra are the light that creation tells itself. Like their father Padame, they are nothing, and in the Tamriel final, nothing shall hold no sway. Anuvanasi, their black mountain called Oblivion, shall sink into the furnace of forgotten numbers, where all lies burn, and brittle multitudes turn to slag. I hear you ask, if the Daedra are of the nothing, how do they lurk on our threshold? How do they lurk at all? Hear the words in sequence. Child of the tribunal in the clumsily built Nirnprior, the Ada gears left gaps and crevices where nothing could take root. Imperfections born from Lorkhan's great lie and the selfishness of fractured creation. In the glorious Anuic conversions of the Nirn ensuing, all gaps will be sealed, all crevices will be welded. The creaking and rattling of the machine shall retreat to a whisper, and the reckless chaos born from the at other gears folly shall shiver or shrivel and starve. By the word I wind the gears. Okay. Oh, look at that. He had a secret exit. The Truth in Sequence Volume 2. I'm sure I read this. Let's see. The will of Sotasil is the hononymic will, the nameless will. For what is name? The divine metronome tells us that name is the wedge that frees gear from pinion. The residue of Lorkhan's great lie that loosens the wheel chain and corrodes the frame. The other gears, named each in their way. Our lessers see this as kindness, but the mainspring ever wound calls it a curse, rooted in selfish pride. The name is to cleave one from another. It is the death of Anuic convergence, and the Nirn ensuing. The misassembled dragon that breeds dry falsehood and whose name is multitude. There is only one name that does not name, Secht, the convergent clockwork god, whose will pumps like a piston into the both then and after. Sotasil, father of mystery, whose heart drives the wheels eternal and whose blood oils are the all-axly. See the divine engine, whose mind merges day and we and bursts the near ensuing lesser wills are wisps of smoke, bored and lost in a sea of endless sky, lost children whose freedom is death. For what is freedom, child of the tribunal, the counter-lever to slavery? No, have you not heard the words in sequence? The chrononymic will is the pendulum that swings only once, it cannot do otherwise. To swing twice would break one intention from another and prove the blasphemy of two. As Padame is illusion, so too is the named will. For what is choice if not chaos? What is free will if not the lack of order, vulgar and triumphant? The true wheels spin clockwise, ever clockwise. In the unity of none ensuing, each belongs to all and all belongs to none, save Tamriel final. Enuvanasi. So lay down your cheap burdens, shall I do thus. Such choice is delusion. Give yourself to the pursuit of unity, for in the end you cannot do otherwise. By the word I bind the gears. In any case, reading this again is very enjoyable. It's very well written. Deirdre Worship the Shimmer by Fartus of Alien here. The history of Deirdre worship by the elves, once known as the Shimmer, provides a valuable object lesson in the dangers of traffic with the so-called Lords of Oblivion. It's a tale of peril that modern-day apologists for Deirdric worship, such as Lady Cinnabar, would do well to heed. Let's begin with a few facts that not even the shrew of Tanith could deny. The Aedra, the gods of the divines, created Nirn out of the chaos of oblivion. They assume physical form within the mortal plane, the Mundus, and according to Elven myth were the direct ancestors of the Aldemari. The Aedra were the natural objects of holy reverence for the elves of the Dawn era, and the first organized religions venerated these divines. However, after Nirn was born, the Aedra withdrew from their creation, becoming distant, aloof, and disinterested in the affairs of mortals. But beyond the Mundus, in the infinite variation of oblivion, there were other godlike entities of great power, known as the Deirdre, literally the not Aedra, who began to take a malign interest in the realm the Aedra had created. Some of the more powerful of these entities, the so-called Deirdric princes who ruled entire oblivion planes of their own, were nonetheless jealous of the mortals of Nirn, for they had inherited the Aedric capacity of creation. The ability was beyond the Deirdre, who, though who, though masters of change and metamorphosis, create nothing new that has not been before. However, one quality that the Edgic princes shared with the young mortals of Nen was a lust of power in all its forms. This corrupting desire is the foundation of all mortal worship of the Deirdre. The princes offer power in return for service and worship. Most often this power comes in the form of knowledge, the most seductive and least perilous seeming of the Deirdric temptations. To show how seductive this temptation can be, reflect upon the early Aldmer of Somerset. Though in their arrogance they consider themselves the lineal descendants of the Deirdre, nonetheless the first large-scale religious sect espousing Deirdre worship was born in the heart of Somerset itself. There, in the rainbow shadow of the Crystal Tower, the so-called prophet Veloth communed with the Deirdric prince Boethiah and agreed to accept her gifts. He inscribed the Velothi prophecies which expounded the doctrine of worship of the good Deirdre, Boethiah, Azura, and Mabhala, along with ways to propitiate and negotiate with the bad Deirdre, Moloch Baal, Malakoth, Sheogorath, and Mehrunes Dagon. To the more foolish of the Somerset Aldmeri, the arts and skills the good Deirdre offered to teach them seemed more useful than the maxims and platitudes of the priests of the Aiedra, and a number of Elven clans accepted Veloth as their prophet and guide. When the Sepiarchs of Alinor rightfully prohibited this schism, Veloth led the clans loyal to him out of the isles, and across the seas to the far side of Tamriel, where they colonized the main not known as Morrowind, now known as Morrowind. The followers of Saint Veloth, who became known as Shimmer, were willing to trade the paradise of Golden Somerset for the purgatory of ancient Morrowind, all in return for the illusory gifts of the Deirdre. The Shimmer built mighty temples to Boethiah, Azura, and Mabhala, and established the traditions of worship in Morrowind that were later co-opted by the Tribunal. As even the beginning student of history knows, this large-scale dabbling with Deirdre led inevitably to warfare and catastrophe. Shimmer civilization fell at the Battle of Red Mountain. At the curse of Azura, their erstwhile mistress transformed the brilliant Shimmer into the sullen and haunted Dunmer. After that time, Morrowind under the Tribunal turned its back on worship of the Deirdre, but by then the damage had been done. Today the Deirdre are feared and abhorred across the length and breadth of Tamriel. And rightly so, yet despite the clear lessons of history, some misguided souls still insist that traffic with Deirdre lords can be tolerated, even accepted. To those such as you, Lady Cinnabar, I say beware. What pact with the Deirdre ever ended well? Deirdre, that's interesting. Balthazar thinks he can build a tonal inverter to counter the power of Shodalas Tap. He needs me to collect the components to craft the device, and has sent me to Molagmar to get help from hardlings he's used in the past. Talk to Leona Blasio, talk to Volrina Quara, and talk to Snorfin. So let's get out of here first, through this tunnel. Vardenfell, surrounded by the inner sea, the sprawling volcanic island of Vardenfell dominates northern Morrowind. The ominous, ever-smoldering peak of Red Mountain looms over this strange land. Okay. You are now disreputable. So I suspect that it's a good thing. In any case, am I seeing anybody? What's that? That's disgusting. But this mushroom is huge. and you'll never know if it's poisonous or not. In any case, how's my character doing? I'm almost at level 8. Let's see a little bit maximum damage. What do I have here? Some health, magical weapon damage, 1507. I wonder with that level, will I get a greater attack than I currently have? Boom! I need my helper. Without the helper, things will not go nearly as well. Let's continue hitting them. Done. 73 experience, but I think that's with the 50% bonus. Now, where will we go? So, let's talk to Snorfin. Right there, so let's keep on moving. And it looks like I would have to sail there. A few crabs are here. And I wonder if there's anything eatable here. Rawhide scraps, that's it. Okay. Looks like I'll be able to pass through here. So far, I haven't kind of thought that the High Elves would be living under these kind of conditions, and now I've imagined them as being more superior beings. Look at that. The 36th lesson, Sermon 18. Let's examine this. By Vivek. Sermon 18. Now Vivek felt that he had thought the Hortator as much as he could before the war with the Dwemer came. The warrior poet decided he had to begin his book of hours at that point because the world was about to bend with its age. Vivek entered the morning hall and announced to Iam that he was going to fight 9 monsters that had escaped the march. I will return, he said, to deal with the last blow to the grand architect of the Dwemer. Iam said, out of 9 you will find only 8, though they may be mighty. The last is already destroyed by your decision to create the Book of Hours. Vivek understood that Iam meant himself. Why, she asked, are you in doubt? Vivek knew that his doubt made him the sword of the Triune, and so he did not feel shame or fear. Instead, he explained in these other words, can a member of the Invisible Gate become so archaic that its successor is not so much an improvement of the exact model, but rather a related model that is just needed more because of the currency and world's condition? As the mother, you do not have to worry, unless things in the future are so strange that even Secht cannot understand. Neither does the executioner or the fool, but I am neither. These ideals are not going to change in the nature, even though they may change in the presentation. But even in the West, the Rainmaker vanishes. No one needs him anymore. Can one oust the model? Not because the model is set according to an ideal, but because it is tied to an ever-changing unconscious mortal agenda. This is what was said to Iam when Vivek was whole. The wise shall not mistake this. Iam said, this is why you were born of a Nechaman's wife and destined to merge with the simulacrum of your mother, gilded and blended in all the hours of the star-wounded East, under water and in fire and in metal and in ash, 6 times the wise to became the union of male and female, the magic hermaphrodite, the martial axiom, the sex death of language, and unique in all the middle world. Vivek knew then why he would record his Book of Hours. This sermon is forbidden. In this world and others, 18 less 1, the victor, is the magical disc, hurled to reach heaven by violence. This sermon is untrue. The ending of the world is Al-Masibi. Alright, so that's what was found here. There's a little tiny dragon, or so it seemed. There is another mission close by, somewhere. It doesn't say where, and I won't care about it. There's no way to swim fast, or maybe I just didn't have enough stamina, but so far I don't remember him swimming very fast. In any case, I'll swim around this a little bit, and it looks like it's recovering stamina. It won't jump here. I was able to fish some stuff, and I'm finally there. Let's go and speak with Snorfin.
I feel like such a puny snowback hiding here in Molag Mar. But you don't want to hear about my troubles. What can this broken Nord do for you?
Bartelzar sent me to talk to you. He said you could help me find the items on this list.
Bartelzar. He's the reason I'm a shattered man, doomed to become a cowering sheep like the rest of these pilgrims. Alright, let me see that. Arkanthung Stordoms. You can find a Sonance generator there, after you deal with the steam trap.
What's that about a steam trap?
The cursed contraption. I almost had it figured out when a ghost floated up to me. No problem, I think. But then it enters a Centurion. Ghost machines. No sane Nord can fight ghost machines. I dropped my notes and ran as fast as I could.
You left your notes in Sturdoms because of a few ghosts?
Not just ghosts. Ghosts that possess dwarven machines. I'm through working for that crazy old mage and his clockwork monstrosities. But if you want to get past the steam trap, find my notes and follow the directions.
Alright. So, what did we learn? That's it. So, it looks like we didn't learn much. We still need to talk to the rest of them.